pound best fighter in the sport of boxing right now. It's good to see him in his position, in the position.
After their recent heated back and forth, Floyd Mayweather made a surprising visit to Gervonta "Tank" Davis's training camp, and even stepped into the ring for a few rounds of light sparring. The tension that once separated them seems to have cooled off, at least for now. Floyd made it clear he's not there for drama, he's there for business. According to him, joining Tank's camp ahead of the Jake Paul fight just made sense. After all, he's fought Logan Paul himself, so he knows exactly what kind of challenge Jake brings to the table.
Similar to Logan versus Mayweather, but Jake Paul now obviously is way more advanced than where Logan was at.
How he thinks the fight will play out. Floyd didn't hesitate. Tank wins, and easily. Size has never beaten skill in boxing, he said. If someone has defense and skill, you just can't reach them. His brother couldn't touch me, and he was swinging wild. Alongside Calvin Ford, Floyd has watched Tank evolve from a raw powerhouse into one of boxing's most calculated finishers. Despite their rocky past, Floyd insists it all comes down to respect, especially now that they're older. That's why he's back working alongside Ford, ensuring Tank steps into that ring sharp, focused and ready to dominate.
I think it's going to be a great event. Every time I fight is fireworks. Jake Paul coming in, you know, he's much bigger, he's much stronger.
Calvin Ford, who's been by Tank's side since day one, isn't losing sleep over this matchup either. He's seen Tank handle bigger guys in the gym for years, so Jake Paul's size doesn't concern him. Ford's main focus right now? The gloves. "We don't fight in 12s, he said, referring to the 12-ounce training gloves. "That's for sparring. We fight in 8s. Let Jake wear 10s and let's see who's real." Ford even talked to Jake's team about it, but they weren't interested in changing the setup. To Ford, that just proves Jake's playing it safe. "If he really wants to prove something, stop hiding behind exhibition rules," Ford said. "Let's make it a fight."
Concern is, you know, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds.
As for the weight difference, neither Floyd nor Ford seems the least bit worried. Jake's hovering around 190 to 195 pounds, maybe 5 pounds heavier than what was originally discussed. But Ford didn't flinch. "We signed the contract, we'll make it do what it do," he said. That's been Tank's mindset from the start. It doesn't matter who's bigger, taller, or louder. Once that first punch lands, the ring suddenly feels a lot smaller. Still, one thing critics keep bringing up is Tank's decision to skip a rematch with Rolly Romero.
All bring something to media and to boxing. You cannot miss a fight. I like it, baby. I like the drama it's bringing, I'll be honest.
But nobody really cares about this fight.
Yeah, are we gonna watch it?
Yeah, of course. That's how it's gonna go. Nobody really cares, but everybody's gonna watch it. Like,
Tank makes people famous, Calvin Ford fired back. Rolly was a nobody before that fight. To him, all that talk about a rematch is nonsense. If any top fighter got the kind of offer Tank did, they'd have jumped at it. Ford refuses to let anyone guilt-trip his fighter for securing a massive payday. "That's just boxing," he said. "Business comes first."
You can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
Impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away.
Meanwhile, Floyd's presence in camp has changed everything. The energy feels sharper, more focused. He's walking around giving pointers, reminding Tank to stay calm, stay smart, and stick to what he does best, breaking opponents down with timing and precision. Floyd keeps repeating one mantra: size doesn't win fights. Skills do, and he's living proof of it. He spent his entire career outclassing bigger men and making them miss all night long. That's the exact mindset he wants Tank to bring into this fight.
This is a mismatch, and I believe that Jake Paul will knock Tank Davis out, maybe in the 3rd, maybe in the 4th round. Tank will try to move, he will try to stick and move. It's not gonna work out for him, and he will eventually get knocked out.
It's surreal seeing Floyd and Calvin Ford side by side again, especially after all the drama between Floyd and Tank over the past few years. But somehow it feels right. These are the two men who shaped Tank into who he is, a complete fighter with knockout power in both hands and the poise to go with it. Sure, they've had their differences, but in the end, it all circles back to respect and legacy. Floyd knows the kid he once mentored has become a global superstar, and deep down, he still wants to see him win.
Talking about fighting Joshua, which is heavyweight, and now he's saying about fighting Tank. Nah, this can't be. It's Netflix as well. I need to go and do some checks and see if like the main pages have posted this, but Jake Paul's posted it. It says Friday, November 14th. It's in Atlanta.
A growing number of pros are starting to see the same thing Floyd and Calvin Ford see. Yes, Jake Paul has size, but Tank Davis is better in every category that truly matters. On paper, the weight gap looks wild, but anyone who's spent time in a boxing gym knows that skill always beats raw size when there's no ring IQ behind it. And right now, that's exactly how most insiders view Jake.
Tank Davis or Jake Paul. So, immediately, yeah, a normal layman would say, oh, Tank Davis is better. But better at what? Is he better at selling tickets? Is he better at selling stadiums out? Is he better at creating controversy? Is he better at getting followed on Instagram? Is he better at putting more eyeballs on the boxing? Is he better than him at that? The answer would be no. But is he better at him in a fight? It has to be really, you have to break it down.
Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas also weighed in, and he didn't hold back. On his YouTube show, Atlas said the first thing that jumps out when you see the two together is the size difference. It's stark, he said. There's nearly 8 inches in height between them, and the reach gap is even worse. But he quickly added that doesn't decide the fight. Atlas acknowledged the skill gap, the experience gap, and Tank's elite ring IQ. If he catches Jake clean, Atlas said, Jake might be doing a dance before he hits the canvas.
Any fight, to be honest, Jake Paul has a lot of followings, a lot of guys that are going to come and watch, and that gives the opportunity for other fighters to be seen on those cards, you know. So a lot of people don't agree, but at the end of the day, for me, it's entertainment. And if we can take boxing to the next level and give other fighters opportunities to be displayed and for other people, YouTubers and all that, to be seen, and hopefully all the YouTubers and people there are just there.
That's the point many analysts keep coming back to. Jake might be bigger, but Tank hits like a truck. And it's not just raw power, it's precision, timing, and placement. Combine that with Tank's experience against faster, more polished fighters than Jake, and suddenly the size difference feels far less important. Atlas even reminded fans that boxing history is filled with smaller men defeating bigger ones. Size helps, he said, but skill and composure win fights.
He ain't gonna fight back. He said, so I say, you gotta take him serious. You see what I'm saying? Because he talked about, he had you on a hit list before this fight even happened. So his mental is on you. So you have to take him serious.
Still, there's a fair question about whether Jake's physical advantages could cause problems. He's a cruiserweight used to throwing heavy looping punches. Tank's the opposite. He thrives on speed, angles, and anticipation. They're operating on completely different frequencies. And that's what makes this fight so unpredictable.
Listen, he's a marketing genius, but when it comes to people that pick and lose fights, I can't get my head around it. If Tank hits him clean, he's going to sleep. He'll have a lot of smoke blown up his backside by his coaching team and people like that, but when he gets hit for real, 10 ounce, well, I'm told it's 16 ounce gloves now, it's like an exhibition. Right. I'm told it's big gloves and head guards.